What's going on, guys, girls? Rob with you this evening, and we've got NHL playoffs coming up tonight, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Only, an hour away. So, let's get going with it, okay? Let's get started. Let's start out west. Let's work, everybody likes to start out east, and we're going to start out west, work up to the east. All right. So the bottom one down there is Edmonton and LA. Oilers and Kings, a very interesting matchup. I like Oilers in this matchup though because I think their top two lines, especially Connor McDavid. What's up, Danny? What's going on, my friend? And we got the 100-mile yard sale starting Thursday, and we're going to do it rain or shine. So when you came in the house last time, we got a ton of stuff downstairs again. So we're going to start that Thursday. Edmonton Oilers, LA Kings. I like the Oilers here. You going to hockey blast the playoffs? No, I'm not going to hockey blast the playoffs. No, I'm just going to tell you who I think is going to win it all. And I'll bet nobody else picked this team on any other prediction show. All right. The Kings, they got Dustin Brown retiring. He's already announced it. So at the end of the playoffs, he's gone. That's got a little bit, Jonathan Quick definitely has an advantage here. But I like the Oilers here. I like the Oilers because I think their top two lines, and I'm going to give you a play. I'm going to give you a player that I think is going to play a huge part in the first round in the Oilers getting through. And I just think the guy is going to play a huge part, and we're going to see if he ends up doing it. Those Yamamoto, I think will score 3 or 4 goals in this series. I think it goes 6. The Oilers advance. Next, we got the Calgary Flames against Dallas Stars. Calgary is the home team here. Calgary, I don't know if there's a hotter team out there right now. Dallas has had their problems with injuries. They've had their problems with especially their second line. Their defense is not playing as good as they've been known to. I like the Flames here. I like them in a sweep. I think the Flames will sweep the Stars in this series. The Flames are playing as good as anybody. Next, we got Minnesota and St. Louis. Minnesota, the home team here. The Wild has played very well this season. They're a very good team. The Blues kind of played down to their competition this year, but you won't find another team with 8 20-goal scorers. 8 20-goal scorers. That in itself, that's 3 lines, folks. Except their thing is they bring defensemen up. That can cause the Wild a lot of problems. I like St. Louis in this series in 6 games. I think St. Louis will upset Minnesota and win this series. Next, we got the Colorado Avalanche, the winners of the West in the regular season. They're playing the Nashville Predators. The Predators, very good at home this year, not so good on the road. Colorado, one of the best road teams in all of hockey. So every time they play in Nashville, it should be really good. But every time they play in Colorado, it's probably not going to be that good. That in itself makes me think Colorado wins this series in 5. I think they'll win it in 5 games. Let's go up to the Eastern Conference. We got the Rangers and we've got the Penguins. Rangers have played very well. What's up, Steve? What's going on? Rangers have played very well. But I tell you what, the Penguins have been knocked out the last 3 years early in the playoffs. I think this is their last run at it. I really do. I like the Penguins in 7. I think they upset the Rangers in this deal. Carolina and Boston. This is a sexy pick right here. Boston's been a sexy pick all week by a lot of people. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I think Carolina has better goalkeeping. I think goaltending rather, not goalkeeping. Goaltending. I think they have better defense, and I think their top three lines are a lot better than Boston's. I like Carolina in this series. I think they win it in 6. Next, we got Tampa and Toronto. And I'll tell you what team this good comes into the playoffs playing as flat as Tampa? It scares me. They're the 2-time defending champs. Nobody has any more pressure on them than Toronto this year. But I think Austin Matthews is up for the pressure. I'm going to be one of the few. Not the Marines, but I'm going to be one of the few. I'm going to say Toronto wins this series in 6 games. I just think Tampa is coming into the playoffs so flat. I don't like them in this situation. They're the better team. They're coming in here flat. I'm taking Toronto in this series. Florida and Washington. Washington simply has the best goal scorer probably we've ever seen, other than number 99. But they do have their weaknesses. Their goaltending rather. I keep saying goalkeeping. I'll say goaltending now. Their goalies have not been playing as well as you would hope. Their defense is lackluster at best. Florida's the better team here. Florida wins this series in 5 games. Let's go back out west. Second round of the playoffs. We've got the Oilers. We've got the Calgary Flames. One team is going to be in the semifinals or in the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be from Canada. It's going to be Calgary. I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan. I don't care. Calgary's a better team here. Calgary wins this in 5. They just have so much more going for them right now. They're playing better than almost anybody. I like Calgary in 5 games. Next, we got Colorado and St. Louis. Colorado this year has not had any problems with most any team except St. Louis. You go back and look at St. Louis. They beat them a couple times in overtimes. I think this is going to be the best series of all the playoffs. I think it goes 7. I'm picking St. Louis to upset Colorado and go to the Western Conference Finals. Next, we got Carolina and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, this may be the final series that we ever see Sidney Crosby, because I think Carolina's the better team here, folks. Carolina is going to stretch it as far as they can. No, their defense, they play back. They're going to force Pittsburgh into mistakes. But I think it's going to go 7 games. I really do. I think Pittsburgh's going to play with a lot of heart here. Pittsburgh loses. Carolina goes to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Next, we've got the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Can we actually have 3 teams make it to the semifinals of their conferences? Yeah. I like Florida here. I really do. Florida wins this series in 6 games. Toronto, Austin Matthews and the guys, they're really, really good. They're not ready for this. I think they beat Toronto. Florida goes on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Next, we got Calgary. We got St. Louis. This right here is going to be a barn burner of a series, because St. Louis has got a guy that didn't even want to play for him at the beginning of the year, and he scored 84 points for him this year, or 75, 80 points, something like that. And he played out of his mind. Goalies is a big question mark. Billington, I don't know about that. Calgary's they've been firm in goal. Calgary makes it. Calgary makes it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Next, we got Florida and Carolina. This may be the best series of all of them. I say Colorado, St. Louis, Florida, Carolina may be the best series of all of them. Florida has the best offense. Carolina, I think, has the best defense here. And I think they have the best goals, the goalies, too. I'm taking Carolina in an upset here. I think Carolina makes it to the Stanley Cup Finals. And now is what and I think it's going to go 7 games. Calgary, Carolina. Can it happen, folks? Can Canada win the cup back for the first time in forever? I think so. I think this is the year for it. I think Calgary wins the Stanley Cup. They raise it in 6 games. They'll be on the road. They'll be down here. I think they'll be down here in Carolina playing in Game 6. I think that's the way it works. It may not. It would be great, wonderful if they were up there in Calgary and got to raise the cup in Canada. But I think they win it anyway. Calgary wins the Stanley Cup in 6 games. And we'll see what happens there. So I like Florida over Washington. I like Toronto over Tampa. I like Carolina over Boston. I like Pittsburgh over the Rangers. I like Colorado over Nashville. I like St. Louis over Minnesota. I like Calgary over Dallas, and I like Edmonton over LA. Second round, I like Calgary over Edmonton. I like St. Louis over Colorado. I like Carolina over Pittsburgh. And I like Florida over Toronto. If Eastern Conference Finals, I like Carolina over Florida in 7. Western Conference, I like Calgary over St. Louis in 6. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, I like Calgary over Carolina in 6. And guess what? I don't have Calgary going to any Game 7s this year. That would be the first for a long time for a Stanley Cup champion to go win it all and not have to play any Game 7s. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The first round, let's see. How many upsets do I have? Toronto is a road team. Pittsburgh is a road team. St. Louis is a road team. And then St. Louis obviously is a road team the second round. I like them there. That's the only road team I like in the second round. And then Carolina's a road team against Florida. I like that. Carolina's played some really good hockey this year. If we really, really want to talk about the top 5 teams in the National Hockey League, you got to bring Colorado into it. You got to bring Tampa into it. You got to bring Florida into it. You got to bring Carolina into it. And then that 5th team, I think it's Calgary. I think they have stretched teams, and they may be in a top 3 or 4. I'm not sure they're not better than Carolina coming into the playoffs, but Carolina's played well. But Tampa is a team that scares me more than anybody. Tampa is capable of winning it all. But can they turn it on and turn it off like a lawnmower? I just don't know. I don't count on teams doing that. They scare me when they try to do that. And when you come into the playoffs and you're not hot, you're not even – they're lukewarm at best right now. They've lost to some teams they shouldn't have lost to coming into the playoffs. I don't like that. Now, I know a lot of teams are like – a lot of people are like, but Rob, they're 2-time defending champs. Yeah, they've got a lot of new pieces and parts in place too. Some don't know the effects of playing through a whole playoff series or even through 4 playoff series what it takes to win the cup. And I just think that they have just enough new pieces and parts. Stamkos is very good. He's a very good player. But Toronto has a lot of good pieces too. Austin Matthews does not make that team. They're more than that. So that's why I say Toronto. I'm picking Toronto, not with my heart at all, because I'm definitely not a Toronto fan. I'm definitely not a Calgary fan. I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan. And it hurts me to say that they're going to beat Edmonton in the second round. But nothing gives me assurance with the Oilers. The Oilers have got too many holes. Darnell Nurse may not even play tonight. So they may not even make it out the first round. I got them winning in 6, but, I saw the press conferences today. Darnell Nurse acted like he was probably going to play tonight, but you don't want somebody at 60% on the first line of defense. You just don't. You want to throw – I would throw in number 5 or number 6 as my number 5 or 6 defenseman. That's what I would do. Duncan Keith, he's got the experience and's been there. He's won cups. You can put him up there, and he can, he's not the speediest guy because now he's 40 years old. But still, I would rather have Duncan Keith as my 1 or 2 than I had Darnell Nurse at 70% or 75%. That's why I figure Nurse, I think, may play tonight. And if they win, he may be a scratch in game 2. Wouldn't surprise me there. Yamamoto, let's see what he does. I expect that line to really, really, really roar in this series. Nugent Hopkins, Yamamoto, they have an advantage against LA's second line. They just do. Nugent Hopkins has played some this year with Connor McDavid. McDavid was better when he did play with him a lot, but once they got Draisaitl going, then they put Nugent Hopkins back to the number 2 line. Now, we don't know how they're going to line them up tonight. Being at home, they get the last change. Don't be surprised if they put Yamamoto on in line with Draisaitl and McDavid. That wouldn't surprise me at all because Yamamoto is a tough kid. He's got a lot of moves around the net, and that would not surprise me a lot. Even though they've not played together a lot, this would be a surprise probably to LA. And Nugent Hopkins line, they've got some striders too. They've got some guys that can really, really stretch defenses. But Yamamoto, that's the kid I'm really, really looking at. And I think he could make a difference in this series. We'll see. Jonathan Quick can stand on his head and save 95% of shots. They can win this thing in 5 or 4. I just wonder, though, if the LA defense, like I say, especially when we know that Dustin Brown is retiring, that's in the back of their heads. I think he should have announced it afterwards. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people say, well, now they'll play for Dustin. Look, if you're not playing your hardest all the time, you shouldn't need a purpose. When you get to the playoffs, you shouldn't have to have somebody say, well, guess what? He's retiring after you lose your last game or after you win your last game. You shouldn't need that. If you need that, something's wrong. And that's why I say I think Dustin Brown probably should have made this move 6 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, after the playoffs. That's my opinion. You guys can chime in with me and see what you think about it. We'll see what happens. But, definitely leave down below who you think's going to win the first round of the playoffs. Is there going to be a upset in your book? 3 in mine. Like I say, I like Toronto, I like Pittsburgh, and I like St. Louis. I especially like St. Louis in this first round because I just think that much offense, Minnesota is going to be – they're going to be spinning – their heads will be spinning with 8 20-goal scorers. Tarasenko is just really good too. So we'll see what happens. These series start tonight, 7 o'clock. Look at your local list, and some of them may be online games, but the majority are going to either be playing on ESPN, ESPN2, or another segment of ESPN. Watch NHL Network. They'll also tell you where you can catch these games, but all of them should be televised, okay? Until I see you again, my name's Rob. Thanks for checking out my channel. If you don't agree with me, put it down below in the comments, and I'll read them, and I'll probably get back to you too. Have a good one. God bless, and be good. Bye-bye.